Two teenage homeless boys sleeping under a torn blanket beneath a city bridge at night. Heavy rain falling, cold, wet streets, backpacks as pillows, cinematic lighting, emotional atmosphere, urban realism. A young boy hiding under a bed while parents argue loudly in the background. Dim light, tense atmosphere, messy broken home interior. A lonely boy sitting on a bunk bed in a foster care home. Sad expression. Other kids playing in the background. Soft window light. Two teenage boys in a youth shelter cafeteria. One defending the other from bullies. Rough clothing. Connection forming between them. Two teenage boys collecting empty bottles and cans on city streets, backpacks full of recyclables, wearing layered, worn-out clothes, morning light on a rough urban landscape. Two teenage boys sitting under a bridge by firelight, talking and laughing, one sketching on cardboard, the other fixing an old phone, hopeful expressions in darkness. A teenage boy drawing a colorful mural on a broken wall near a school fence, another fixing an old phone, a kind woman in a sari watching them from a distance, soft daylight. An elderly, grumpy librarian talking to two curious homeless boys in a quiet school library, books stacked around, warm light from library lamps, cautious trust. Two teenage boys studying after school in a library, one learning coding on an old computer, the other using digital art software on a tablet, focused expressions, cozy lighting. A teenage bully spray painting over a mural, two boys watching in shock and pain, angry expression on the artist's face, early evening light. A teenage boy lying sick under a torn blanket in the snow, the other boy kneeling beside him worried. Harsh winter wind, emotional survival moment. An old man driving a small car through a snowy street at night, two boys in the back seat wrapped in blankets, city lights through the windshield. Two teenage boys attending night classes in a small community center, taking notes seriously, chalkboard in the background, tired but hopeful. A teenage boy smiling proudly while holding a homemade robot on stage, STEM fair banner in the background, people clapping, bright lights. A teenage boy shyly standing in front of his digital art at a small community gallery, warm lighting, people admiring his work, emotional moment. Two boys painting over a damaged mural with fresh art, hopeful determination in their eyes, sunrise light on their faces. A wise older woman sitting with two teenage boys under a tree, autumn leaves falling, sharing deep advice, emotional and peaceful setting. Two boys working late at night in a small apartment, uploading artwork and apps online, screens glowing, quiet ambition in the room. A phone screen showing viral likes and shares, reflected in a boy's wide eyes, glowing screen, disbelief and excitement. A local news reporter interviewing two teenage boys in a small apartment filled with art and gadgets. Camera crew, humble surroundings. Rayhan. A young man entering a tech office, shaking hands with a startup founder. Modern workspace background. Zion. A young artist walking through an animation studio with a mentor. Creative workspace with sketches and monitors. Two young men in graduation gowns, hugging each other proudly. National TV crew filming them. Joyful crowd in background. Inspiring atmosphere. A beautifully renovated shelter and learning center built under a city bridge. Painted walls, solar panels, people gathered for grand opening. An older woman cutting a red ribbon in front of a new community center with two young men by her side. Celebration crowd cheering. An elderly librarian watching the celebration from a distance with a proud smile, hands in pockets, sunlight on his face. A small homeless boy standing shyly near the center gates. Two young men smiling warmly and approaching him. Soft sunset light. Emotional welcome. Closing shot. Hey, you hungry? Close-up of two young men smiling at a small homeless boy, one bending down to talk to him. Kind expressions. Background shows shelter behind them. The moral of this story is that kindness, resilience, and opportunity can transform lives. Even in the harshest struggles, homelessness, neglect, and survival, hope can grow through trust, friendship, and guidance. With compassion from others and determination within, broken paths can be rebuilt into futures filled with creativity, learning, and dignity. It shows that every child deserves safety, care, and a chance to dream. And that when a community comes together to uplift its most vulnerable, those children can rise to become leaders who give back, continuing the cycle of hope.